Hey guys, thanks for checking out my new channel, MRep Review 22. I got a rep versus, well, it's a rep versus rep comparison, but I'm going to be comparing the newest Perfects to the newest AAA version of the Sport Blue 3s. Before I get into it, guys, keep subbing. I'm still giving out free stuff. I'm going to be doing a different type of giveaway, so you don't have to be the 100th person to get something or whatever. So I'll start that up probably this evening. So check out for that video. It's going to be on my channel, M Fash Review. Alright guys, so with that being said, let's get into this comparison of the AAAs, which is this guy right here, versus the Perfects, which is this one right here. So let's line them up. Okay, AAAs, Perfects. The first thing I think you guys should see right away, they do come up to the same height on both shoes. Like, that's good. The height, the shape and everything is dope on both of them. I think they're both 10, so one's a 9.5, one's a 10, so it's pretty close to do some comparisons with. The first thing I noticed was the fact that the elephant print on the AAAs comes up a little too high. And I don't know, it kind of depends on what your pet peeve is, really. For me, that's a little bit of a break it kind of thing. Like, you got to make it or break it. That's the break it right there for me. But I will say, it's not the break for everybody. Like, it is a tiny difference between material, but you guys can kind of see this one lays flatter to the ground just to begin with. This one curls up a little bit more, but as you wear it, it's going to curl down. But in general, this black flat material right here is much larger on this style, whereas it's smaller on this one. So generally, the elephant print comes up a little too high on the AAAs. Now, I mean, the cements, depending on what year you bought your cements in, they have different, sizes on this elephant print. So this elephant print isn't correct to this model and this colorway, but if we're talking, a few years ago, that elephant print would be right. So, that is what it is. These stars on the bottom, and yeah, you can definitely see it, are more defined on the Perfects than they are on the AAAs. You can see that right away. I mean, they both have stars, but this one looks like I've been rocking it a few times. This one looks brand new at the box. Now, you're going to wear them just anyway, so it doesn't really matter if they look like a little less defined. It's not like you're going to stock them. But if you were, I mean, that's just something to notice. That's just a difference. They both are very well defined on terms of, like, graininess on the leather. The holes on them are very well perforated, which is great. My next gripe, you guys can see the holes that they have on these guys, and then the holes on the Perfects, like the holes in the eyelets. You gotta fiddle with them and play with them to get them to fit in here. Not saying they won't, I'm just saying it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to get it to go. Damn mosquitoes out here, but whatever. Yeah, you gotta play with it, you gotta fiddle with it to get it to fall into place. But once you snap it in, it kind of stays for the most part, but I haven't played with it long enough, but you gotta fiddle with it. There's a little bit of pain in the ass. These you don't have to. Both of them have the same perforations, although these perforations, these ones are more defined and they're much smaller. This one, the size of the size of perforations are the same, but they're more numerous on this one. I don't know if you can see it, but there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 rows here, whereas on this one, there are 3 rows and not as tightly compacted. So hopefully you can see that, but there's not as many. But they do have the perforations, which is great. And retrospective, the perforations are the same here. They have the perforations here, but they're not as tightly packed as they are here. So they're not as numerous. The Perfects have more perforations like the Authentics do. You come up a little higher. The tongue looks kind of sort of okay now, but I iron the shit out of these. Like, I've been ironing these, I ironed these for like maybe 10 minutes or so, and then I let them sit in the box and they actually uncrinkled a little bit. They crinkled up a little bit, so right here there's like a little bump that wasn't there before, but I ironed the hell out of them. This one I touched for like maybe 30 seconds. So the tongue is overall better on the Perfects, but you can get them both to the same point with a little bit of patience. Maybe 5 to 10 minutes of just ironing will get it where it needs to be. But The Perfect Tongue is much thicker, so it actually feels like the pair of Authentics. This one is not very thick at all. But we're talking about feel here. We're not talking about real touch or anything like that. So that's something to keep in mind. The color on the blue, just in general, like if you look at the whole entire shoe, is more vivid on this pair. This one looks a little dull. We're talking about the same color blue, but on the AAA's, it's, I mean, close to as if, I don't know, it's faded a little bit, like a tiny bit. Not by very much. Like hopefully you can see it on the camera, but it's a tiny bit faded. Not enough, I think, to dissuade, to discern people or whatever, but something to keep in mind is a slight difference. Again, it's not a make it or break it for me though, color-wise. I think the make it or break it for me was the elephant print. But if you can get over the elephant print, everything else is like pretty good to go, in my opinion. Everything else is straight. The sides are straight. You got the white air unit. This graininess is the same on both pairs of sneakers. So nothing there. Perfects, AAA's. I mean, you could do a paint fix. It kind of depends how you feel. Maybe you leave it. But the ears are two different colors. That kind of peeved me off a little bit. I mean, the elephant print in general is two different styles, but if you buy a pair of Authentics, the elephant print is going to look different regardless. Even if you have like a left and a right, sometimes you get two different pairs of elephant prints on them, which is pretty annoying. So, I mean, the fact that this is different from that is not a big deal. But the fact that this is different from this, it raises some questions. Alright, I have no gripes on the side. I'm cool with that. Alright, let's talk about the bottom of the shoe. I think you guys can see the issue already. Alright. Perfects, non-perfects. Oh, perfects, AAA's. You can see the issues. I don't know, anybody who's ever tried to do a paint fix on the sole knows that shit is pointless because it scrapes and rubs. It makes no sense to do it. You gotta leave it the way it is. Unless you possibly can dye it, and that only really makes sense if your sneaker is all black on the bottom or you want to turn it all black on the bottom. Dyeing it any other color is I don't know, it's tedious at best, I guess. But yeah, this Jordan sign is effed up. So is this area right here. And I doubt I would fix that. Or even attempt to fix it. Alright. All in all, guys, I mean, these guys run for about 85. These run about for 55. For 30 extra bucks, you can go with the perfects. My suggestion is do the perfects. If you want to save yourself some money, I don't know. I'm too big of a Jordan 3 fan to say do these, man. I really am. It kind of sucks, but I'd say cop something else with your $55. There's a lot of good sneakers out there for 55 bucks. These just happen not to be one of them. Alright. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Drop something in the description or something. I'll get back to you. Or I left the contact right in the description also, so you guys can contact that YouTube page. They'll answer every question for you. Sub away, guys, and look out for my newest giveaway video. Take it easy.